Hey, this is Dan here from Rune Silk, and I'm joined by one other, and that's none other than Damo for show. And this is the BeardMail podcast. So sit back, listen, and enjoy.
Yes, Dan, we're here. Another
Yo,
podcast episode, but it's a little bit ad hoc and a little bit woo and a little bit exciting and a little bit different today, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's going to be quite fun, I think. Nervous, excited, nervous-sighted.
Nervous and excited are the same thing. It's just what you label it as. Chemically, same things going on in your body, Dan. There you go. That was terrible, wasn't it? Right.
Mic
So
drop.
without further ado, let's get into it. So what we're going to do,
Yeah, man.
we've had a guy called Paolo from the Bearded Handballer. That's his thing. He wants to ask us some questions. And I said, look, the best way to do this will just be to record it as a podcast. And then he can have all the answers. And we'll just see how it goes from there. So I like it. It's a little bit edgy. It's a little bit raw. It's a little bit different. But we're going to bring him on. Here is Paolo. Say hello, Paolo. Boom. There he is.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. How you doing? All right?
Ciao, Paolo.
All good. Thank you very much. Ciao, Dan. Ciao, Demo.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
We're getting some hints of Italian there, so you might be able to teach us a few words. You might have to teach us a little bit about your background. In fact, give us a quick little introduction and why you're going to be interviewing me and Dan of BeardMail today.
So basically, I started the Bearded Handballer a couple of years ago, around like 2015. It was mainly to enter the great beard community, and I, being a pharmaceutical chemist, I'm interested in beard products because I like the formulation side of it. So just like testing them, learning and sharing experience, and a part of the Bearded Handballer blog and Instagram page is also interviewing some great names in the beard world. So today is the big chance for two great names.
So we first met a long time ago when I did my charity run to Antwerp, because I know you were into your running a lot, and obviously being called the Bearded Handballer, that's obviously a sport that you play. Are you still involved in handball now? Do you still do running as well?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. I cannot run anymore. I cannot play handball anymore because I had a bad Achilles injury. But yeah, I play handball for most of my life. And I think that was a name that was quite distinguishing because not many people know about handball, so it was quite a good choice.
Now, I mean, you've got your Italian swag going on, but you're not in Italy at the moment. Is that right? Are you
I'm not. So I lived for 5 years in England, between Lincoln and Bracknell, not far from Reading. And there I was doing my PhD in crystal engineering, and then I was also working in some companies. And then 2 years ago, I moved to Ireland, and I actually live in Cork.
Nice. So you're in Cork at the minute. Then the handball, the game of handball, is that more from where did you play that?
So I started playing when I was 9. I started in Italy with my friends when we were young, and then my hometown is actually very famous for handball. The main team actually played in the top league for many years, and I started playing there. Played while I was doing my PhD because actually handball is becoming a little bit more famous in England. It's getting popularity after the London Olympics. And then unfortunately I have to stop because in Ireland it's not that popular. I'm getting old, so I have to face the reality.
Yeah, you got to take up Gaelic and hurling and that. Now, Dan,
Exactly.
we mentioned on a podcast actually, didn't we, Dan, about the game speedball, and you said you were pretty good at it. So I reckon we should actually just have a game of speedball stroke handball. Just make it happen. Just get a load of beardos together, 5 aside. I don't know how many aside is handball.
7 aside.
7 aside. We've got that many mates, haven't we? We could do that.
Well, I could probably bring like 3. That's the 3 of us in this room now. I think that would probably,
we could play a little free aside. No, I quite like
Bagsy being on Paolo's team.
Yeah, and me. That's it. Sorted then. The elite, the BeardMail team, BeardMail, sponsored by BeardMail. I like that. You could sort us out the uniforms. You have to wear a little skirt or anything, or we're just shorts? What do we wear?
No, we'll play naked, I think, right?
Oh,
Oh, my favourite, naked handball. That sounds like that could be really a euphemism for something else entirely.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on.
I can't wait to tell my wife that. Hey, babe, we're just going to go play naked handball. Okay. No, you're not. It's with a load of guys. It's fine.
I'm going to say, by the way, we need your wife to play that. She needs to go in goal. We're short on numbers. Anyway, that's the bearded handballer bit done. So Paolo, literally, mate, you've got some questions lined up for us.
Yes.
And we're just going to go through it, mate. We're going to go through it. So fire away.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you very much for inviting me, for accepting this idea. It's been great.
No problem.
So it'll be also now your turn to introduce yourself, because of course this interview will go in the blog, it will go in the Instagram profile. Many people already know you, but many don't. So yeah, just talk a little bit about yourself.
I'll let you go first, Dan.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to do it alphabetically, in which case you could go first, or age, whatever. You seem to get
beauty.
Yeah, I don't mind going first. I'm happy to go first. So my name's Dan. I am the founder and creator at RuneSilk, and founded the. I can't blimey, so long ago now. It's 2018. So I've been making beard care products for a few years now, and yeah, I don't know what too much to say about me really at the moment. I have a number of side hustles. I'm referred to as a side hustle king just because I like just to find ways of making money, be it selling alcohol to I guess I'm a man's best friend. I'm like a dog, you know. I get people drunk, I moisten your beard, and amongst other things.
Well, Dan, what you mentioned you've got a little like alcohol cocktail thing that you take to festivals and places and that, don't you?
The minibar, yeah. So we've got the minibar, which is we can serve cocktails and beers from, which is pretty cool. So that's something that I do when I'm not doing everything else.
Oh, nice. That's great. That's
now,
great.
Paolo, this is for your blog, isn't it? So I'm going to be saying this, and you're going to have to write it. I don't know if you've got shorthand or what. So I'll try not to talk too quick. But
it's fine.
I am, of course, Damo for show. I run Damo's Beardy Fun Club, which is a subscription Facebook group, and it's for guys in the UK only, because I wanted it to be a tight-knit community, and also because I post them lots of stuff quite regularly, and I just can't afford to do it worldwide. So I've been involved in bearding for 8 years now. It'll be my 8th year. Been to British Championships, been to a World Championships, competed up and down the country, and I guess I found a bit of not so much a niche, but I wanted to create a club of people where I could actually find my peers and have a good chat with people who are of a similar interest, a similar ilk, people that like watching, the things I do. I do competitions online. I like to be in front of the camera and do, live streams and impart my wisdom. And Damo's Beardy Fun Club was a way to do that, really. Now, I feel like I've known Dan for years and years and years and years and years. And then actually, not so long ago, we met.
For the first time a beard on. And you even said, didn't you? We've met before, haven't we? And I said, no, this is the first time we've ever met in face-to-face.
And that was October 2021 that we met. And I literally felt like I'd known Dan for 10 years. And I thought I would have met him loads of times, but I hadn't. And it was weird. So I suppose that's the beauty really of the internet, is that you can become friends with people and sort of get to know people without really actually having to meet them. So we met last year at a beard competition, but have known each other in the bearded community for a long time, certainly online. And we Dan really come up with the idea of BeardMail and just wanted to do something with me, because obviously I'm the face, I'm the energy, I'm the boom, and I like to do the exciting stuff online. So I think more over the last year, I've also got my fingers in some pies, not too dissimilar to Dan. I've started to do a bit of extras work. I don't act, but sometimes when I'm doing like an extras bit, they sometimes give you a line. So I call that acting. It's not, but I call it acting. And then I've also been in the background of some films and some YouTube channels and other bits. And then I've also been on national TV, like as a contestant on some game shows or in the background of some game shows. And I just like being involved in that side of things. So there's quite a lot coming up for this year. But so ultimately, look, I've had proper jobs for a long time, and then this last year I've really sort of embraced variety and doing lots of different things. So BeardMail is a little thing I'm doing, DBFC is a little thing I'm doing, extras work is a thing I'm doing, and I'm hopefully got something else coming up as well this year. So yeah, I'm a busy boy.
Oh, that's very good. That's very good. It's very interesting to know that you didn't meet such long time ago, because as we will see later on in a specific question that I prepared, it seems and actually I think all the listener, me included, can actually feel that there's a great connection between the two of you. So that's very interesting, and it's great. It's great.
We spent multiple hours, haven't we? Talking and stuff like that.
That's great.
I'll show you a sneak preview in a second as well. I don't know if I can share something with you guys in a second, but just because I want to show you the new stickers, just because I'm excited. Do you want to see the new stickers before we carry on with the next question? Just because I'm really excited.
Do it. Let's see them.
So I'm a privileged man to see a preview.
And me, I have no idea what he's talking about, Paolo.
Can you see that?
Hey, I didn't even know you can do that. I can now press a button to add it to the stream. So those of you that are listening on the podcast,
oh, that's cool.
There it is. BeardMail.
That's fun, isn't it?
I can make us really tiny and make that massive. I know that was better how we were.
Very cool.
So what are they, Dan? They're the new stickers.
They're the new stickers, yeah. So that's stickers version 2. Are you in? And pointing people to the website as well. So that'll be pretty cool. I just wanted to show that they got sent off for print yesterday, so they should be arriving in a few days. So I'll send you a stack demo for show.
Nice, brand new BeardMail
probably
stickers.
A book of stamps. Probably a book of stamps as well, maybe.
That's a good idea. Hook me up.
So yeah, that's great. So you said that you were both in the beard community for a long time. So the next question is quite obvious. When did you start growing your beard?
Who's had theirs the longest, Dan?
You're older than me, so
yeah, not by much. Not by much, you know.
I think I've always had some form of facial hair since I could grow sideburns. So I think from the age of about 16, 17, I had really, really awkward sideburns for ages. And then they gradually just got longer and longer. And I had these really stupid, just long sides, just sideburns that would come all the way down for a while. And then it sort of kind of moved into the Craig David chin lines with a little goatee with proper boa telly. And then I guess I had a very similar beard to yourself, Paolo, for a long time, where I kind of kept it quite nice and neat and trim and looked more professional. And then I actually was working at festivals. So I used to work at festivals for most of the summer, and I was at Reading for about 4 weeks, and I just didn't shave. And it got to the point where I was like, oh, cool, actually, do you know what? I'm going to let it grow. And,
can you remember your last actual shave?
No.
So long ago. No.
I mean, I shaved this bit, but I shaved that today, just ready for the live. Cut my lines in, but this bit, I haven't shaved that for years. I haven't seen my chin for years. Like, I've got a really bad feeling that if I ever took it off, that this part of my face hasn't seen any sun for about 10 years.
Pasty.
It's just going to be like literally like I'm going to look like a Neapolitan ice cream.
So I remember my last, and it wasn't a clean shave. I remember my last grade 2, so that was the shortest I would go, and that was actually for my my mum's wedding, and she wanted me to look relatively presentable. So I went down to a grade 2, and that was literally 8 years ago this year. Before that, I'd had a beard at different lengths on and off, but it predominantly started after I left the sales world. So I used to be on the road doing sales. I was selling wallpaper. I had to be in a suit and I had to look smart. And when I left that job and went into another industry, I asked the new employer, I said, look, do you have to shave every day? And they're like, no. And I'm like, brilliant. So I started growing a beard, and I'd get it down to like, a couple of inches and then cut it back. And then, and I would always have some sort of beard. And then I did a charity cage fight, and that was the longest I'd got it because I wanted to look a bit hard. So I probably got it down to about there, I think. And then, as I say, it was 8 years ago I had the last grade 2, and then I haven't had a. I mean, I think possibly the last clean shave would have been. That would have been 2008 then, when I started that new job, which is a long time ago, man.
Yeah, so I'm glad to hear that I was not the only one having these massive and very awkward sideburns, long sideburns, because I had as well. I was inspired by Fred Durst, by the Limp Bizkit, so with these sideburns, and then I started growing mine around like 2016. And actually, I was inspired by a handball player that he had this massive beard. It was quite unique. And then actually, I had a very long beard. I will send you later on some picture of myself a couple of years ago with a long beard. But then, because of the new job and everything, being in a lab, having to wear masks and respirators, I had to shorten it. And now, with these news coming out that the mask will be removed, probably I'll give a go and go back to a little bit more of length. Let's see. So, how long is at the moment your beard?
That's
Good
a good
question,
measure
actually.
it?
That is a good question. I'm not a measurer, to be fair.
Yeah.
But if I guessed,
I
think I'm 13-ish.
That's bigger than 13. Yeah, that's more than a foot long you've got there. Get a Subway sandwich and compare it to your beard. I reckon it's bigger than
13 is more than a foot then.
Yeah, but only a little bit, don't I?
I think the last time
do you know what? I'm usually sat with a tape measure, but I haven't. The last time I measured it, I think before I got it trimmed. I think I was just over 8 inches, and then I got it trimmed, and now it's growing back again. I reckon it's about 9 inches.
10.
Yeah.
10 maybe.
Perfect. Now I will have to go. Once we finish, I will have to do all my conversion to the metric system.
Yeah, centimeters.
It's about
33, something like that. Mine, I think.
Yeah, mine being 25 centimeters long. Yeah, I guess that's about right, actually. If we think about the 30 centimeter rulers being probably about here.
That's 12 inch.
12 inch,
Could
yeah.
be. If you think about
just on your last
Newport,
question, I managed to ping back really quickly through my profile pictures on Facebook, which is quite funny because it just pretty much shows you the different phases of beard. And I guess I started growing the beard around, it was the summer of 2016 that I really started growing it to actually grow it rather than keep it trimmed. So
cool.
6 years.
Cool. So now we move a little bit towards more like the real objective of these interviews. So we all know that BeardMail is the best kind of beard.
The best kind of mail,
right?
It's the best kind. It's the best kind.
Best kind.
Yeah.
Better than Beard Post, anyway.
So
The big swag.
So when you started the group and I received the invitation, I was just like, oh, that's great, because I'm a absolutely addict to BeardMail. I buy loads of stuff. I receive loads of stuff also for reviewing and all these things. But and the group is great on Facebook because that was the first one that I accepted to be part of. Then of course also the Instagram page. But how did the idea of a podcast came out? How did you have this idea? Why?
I think we just thought, Damo and I were sort of talking about what else we could add as a benefit, as a feature, really, as part of BeardMail. And there aren't really a lot of the Facebook groups don't have a podcast. I don't think there's any. Well, there might be some. I haven't seen a beard group that I'm a member of that has a podcast. And I don't know, Damo and I can just talk for ages. So and we get along, and we just thought, should we do it? I mean, it was one of those, wasn't it? Really, like, should we just do a podcast? And we were like, yeah, let's do it, see how it goes. And
I've always wanted a podcast, but I've never had the aptitude to make it happen. I wouldn't have known how to get it on Spotify and all that sort of stuff. So it's great that Dan does that aspect of it. And obviously, I've only been using sort of streaming live for the last year, and got myself a mic and a setup to be able to do it. So actually, it was quite a natural progression, really. I think, to go from doing live streams to recording some stuff. And I think we're both got our ear in the, or our eye on the entrepreneurial world, and there's people out there that, you know, are talking about podcasts and making a comeback, and you see people having massively successful podcasts, and it's like, look, it's something we can do. We have the ability to do it as far as technically it goes, but I think also, and I think this is the reason, like the first 6 episodes was mostly about us chatting, because there's a lot of stuff that's repeated in the beard world, and it's the same questions over and over, which is fine because there's always new people coming in, so they need to hear the answers to those questions. But it was more a case of me and Dan getting to just talk about being 38, 39, 40 years old, and stuff that we've done, and shared experiences and relating to our audience. And look, I think I actually said to Dan once, a lot of podcasts are just blokes just chatting, and I personally wouldn't listen to a podcast where it's just blokes chatting. But then I realized that that's loads of people are listening to podcasts of people just chatting. So if that's what people want and that's what people like, just because it's not necessarily what I would listen to, I think we should still do it whilst we can do it. I'm more of a, if I listen to anything, it's got to be like educational, it's got to be purposeful. I've got to learn something or be, I don't suppose, even entertained really. I'm very focused. So I think being able to have a casual chat with Dan and record it as to help our brand grow is really cool. And it's something that I wouldn't have probably done. I definitely wouldn't have done it without Dan. So thanks, man. Oh, hang on, Dan, we lost your sound, mate.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I put it on mute while I had a drink and I thought I turned it off. It's definitely better doing it with someone else, because I think when you start a podcast on your own, it can be, you almost feel like, oh, no one's going to want to listen to what I've got to say. And is it going to be really embarrassing when I'm there just talking to myself or talking to a mic for so long and then no one's listening? But for me, I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts when I'm working out. And so I think I've listened to them for a few years, and I never thought I would be confident enough to put out my own content. And I think this has been a really good experiment for me.
Yeah, it is indeed. It is, as I can of course give you my opinion, but also looking at the response of the people, I think that you actually got the right way of doing a podcast, because the first episodes were amazing. So I was literally, I'm not a massive podcast listener, I have to be honest. So when I work out or when I'm driving, I much listen to music, but sometimes I listen to podcasts. So when yours came out, I was just like, okay, let's give it a go. I don't know if I'm patient enough to stay connected and just listen to it. And but it flew. So the first 2 episodes were amazing because the topics were original, very original, because you came out with some great memories also from my point of view, because you mentioned, and we mentioned also earlier on, Speedball, one of my favorite video games when I was a kid, Braveheart as a movie. So what I really would like to know is something like, how do you decide which topic you are gonna cover on each episode? Do you already have a long-term plan? Do you choose time by time?
We planned 6, didn't we? We kind of went, let's schedule 6. We sort of sat down and had a chat for a while, and we kind of kicking about some ideas. And we picked 6 just to kind of see how it went. And then we haven't actually thought much further yet, have we? We've kind of got to we're going to record the 6th episode later.
This is probably 7 now then. So
this will be 7. Yes, we've got 7 in the bag. It's fine. So we've got Damo and I are actually going to record episode 6 this evening. And then we need to think about what the next ones are. Yeah, absolutely. But I think we look at topics. We're a similar age gap. I think a lot of the people that we engage with in the communities, as Damo has said, are of a similar age. So it's quite nice to go back and reminisce about sort of the childhood stuff, and a lot of people relate to that. So I think we'll probably keep it quite themed to just stuff that we hope that people would like to listen and kind of go, oh, I remember that. And maybe that would be a good theme to stick to, but it will vary. We did one on beards and stuff like that as well. So where to next? I think we're going to ask for suggestions as well from the group as well. What do they want to listen to?
It was a little bit of a test actually. trying different things. So we did one that was live, we did one that was nothing to do with beards, we did one that is about beards, and so it was really a case of seeing what hit and seeing what got the most likes and views and interest and interaction. However, you need to, with something like a podcast, I genuinely believe you have to be consistent. You have to do it every week. You have to build your audience, and it takes a long time. Now, I think that's why me and Dan are a good blend, because that's me. I said to Dan, look, let's do 6, let's get the topics down. And I think if you're a creative person, if you're a content creator, I think you have loads of fabulous ideas that ping all round, but you don't necessarily get it all down and make sure it actually happens every single week. And I think that's where some ideas can get lost. So it's worked quite well that I sort of pinned Dan down, because Dan
it's my accountability. I'm so crap.
It's creative and that, but I genuinely feel if you'd have done this on your own, Dan, you might have done some brilliant episodes, but they wouldn't have been consistent enough to build the audience. And so again, that's why we work well together. But yeah, we absolutely planned the first 6 episodes, and now it's a case of having a look at what's worked, and also what we've enjoyed, because we're not making any money out of this, so it's not like it's like we need to enjoy what we're doing. So let's do topics that we enjoy, and hopefully our audience will like it as well and build, and and it could become something really great. But if it doesn't, then we've still got to enjoy just having a chat and getting the content out there.
It's great. It sounds amazing. So you kind of already answered this, but do you have a target about how many episodes would you like to reach, or you just go with the flow?
500.
4 million.
Amazing.
I think it's related. I think I really enjoy it. Like when we did the live one, I was nervous because it's I find it slightly different when you're doing it recorded, because obviously if you do mess up, and we actually haven't edited anything out yet, but if you do mess up, you can edit some stuff out. I think the live one scared me a little bit, but we were on for like nearly an hour and a half. It was really good. Like we just carried on, and it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it, and I think we should definitely do, throw a few more lives into the mix, for sure.
I was in that. I followed that online. I threw lots of questions to you, and it was a great time. It was a really great time. And so we were saying that you got a great chemistry together, and that's clear. But what I really like about this podcast, because I'm honest, I never watched the video one, so I'm mainly listening to the BeardMail podcast while I'm driving to from work, or when I'm going, for example, early in the morning to swim in the swimming pool to train. And what it really what can I say? It was amazing to see is the fact that it seems to be on one side a friendly chat between friends. Like if I'm chatting with you and I'm listening to you while we are sitting with a pint, but at the same time is also something like a documentary where I'm learning about new things. You are exploring everything with your experience, and that's difficult to reach because it's entertaining in different ways. So did you already have any experience in terms of like radio or communication or shows that you think could have give you this ability to reach that?
I think that's what I've tried to do for a long time when I get on a live, when I get on a stream, because I'm the sort of person that wants to make sure I'm learning something and using my time productively. I'm very respectful of people's time. And I think if they want to give me, 45 minutes or half an hour or an hour of their time to listen to my podcast, I want to make it worthwhile for them. And I think, yeah, absolutely getting a blend of something that's entertaining and something that's educational and banging that together. I've said for a long time, whether it, funtertainment is what we've sort of called it. But I think that is the goal. Yeah, if you've got to consider your audience. So I personally believe that yes, what we do it is just a chat between mates. But yes, if we can drop in something that connects with them, not even necessarily educational stuff, but something that connects with them. So when we talked about like the retro episode, for example, that's going to make people have a certain range of feelings or emotions or memories. So that makes it in itself entertaining to listen to. Moving forward, as I say, we'll always try different things. But I think Dan and I are not your typical went to school, went to uni, got a job, did a 9 to 5 for the last 20 years. So we've got such a vast array of stories and experience and interesting things that I think look at, we had an episode on stag do's, and they went from both different ends of the spectrum, and I think there's so much experience between Dan and I of just life experience, and brilliant as well, because Dan's a family man, he's got a wife and kids, and I don't have any of that. So they're two polar opposites that give a great a great bit of interesting content. What do you think, Dan?
No, I agree. I think it's the nice thing about that is the fact that we can relate to more people, because obviously stuff that you say people will listen to might take more away from what you say, and vice versa, especially as a parent. So yeah, I think it's no, I agree.
That's something that you achieve in each episode, and that's what keeps me listening to the BeardMail podcast. I'm just waiting for the next episode, because tomorrow I know that I will have a busy day, and I will be spending loads of minutes in my car, so I cannot wait for the new one. So how much work is behind an episode of the BeardMail? How much preparation, how much material work?
About that much. A little. Well, to be honest, very little. Like I always panic about 10 minutes before an episode. I'm like, oh, I totally forgot to do any research or prepare, and I just rock up. And I mean, luckily, we are doing this on a laptop. We do have access to a phone. You can do quite a lot of it off the cuff. Like we do. Like the stag do one we did. We had our stories in mind. We knew what we wanted to talk about. The retro one. We kind of didn't. We didn't really know. We kind of winged that one, didn't we?
I did a bit of research on that one, to be fair.
Yeah,
but that was
I winged it.
But that worked quite well, because I did more research on the retro one, and I think you did more research on the TV one, and it just sort of worked out. But it's not. We're not doing hours and hours of study for it, because literally it is our knowledge that we're imparting. So we already know it. We're only talking about stuff we know.
And I think if you prepare too much, it almost then seems like staged. And I definitely don't want the podcast to be like it's rehearsed and it then becomes robotic and it then just becomes too structured, because I find it more real.
Chloe.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's more real as well. So rather than us just sort of just having a bunch of topics and talking about stuff, it's more like if you hit the nail here, it's more of a conversation between two guys,
I think what's good on that point actually is that I don't necessarily know what Dan's going to talk about, so it's interesting for me.
Neither do I,
because I don't know what he's going to talk about. And actually talking about like hitting different audiences, like when he was talking about his films like Spaceballs, like that's not my thing. I've never seen it. Never. I would have heard of it.
Still not seen it.
It was not even my thing. But Dan was very passionately excited about it, and I was just letting him flow with his chat about that. And coerciously, I was talking about Braveheart. Whether Dan likes it or not is irrelevant, because we're flowing, because he's telling a story, I'm telling a story, but the theme is what brings it all together, really.
And that is indeed what gives this sort of like a natural flow. That makes it, like Dan was saying, a conversation, like we all get it. So the podcast was a great addition to the Facebook group. So any other ideas for the futures already planned, or do you think that there will be some other formats? Or
well, the Facebook group, it's interesting because I've been involved in Facebook groups, like I say, in the beard world for the last 8 years, and they've changed a lot over the years. Engagement is very different now with algorithms and that. But I obviously have my own Facebook group, which is Damo's Beardy Fun Club, but that's just for guys in the UK. And I felt like I was missing out on being able to connect with the worldwide audience of beardy people. So it was great that Dan came up with the BeardMail idea, because it's a way of me being able to run a group that hits that is open for everybody, but also that's not quite as involved. It's interesting that looking at some of the beard groups that are out there at the moment, that there's some that the admin do very little on, but they have great engagement. They're literally the people are doing the work for the admins. Whereas with Damo's Birdie Fun Club, I do all the work because I'm putting on shows and competitions and lives and interaction, which is great because that's what I do. But in the BeardMail group, it's nice to have a wider group for more people, and actually just occasionally do a couple of posts to keep people interested, with the podcast being the main sort of theme behind it. I mean, but who knows where it will go? You know, it is a modern world, and if you can get an audience following you, then there is an opportunity to do stuff. And Dan and I are entrepreneurs, so who's to say that something else might not happen? But at the moment, it's just nice and steady, building along, build the audience, cement, you know, the word BeardMail, because everyone sort of knows it, but not everyone is necessarily shouting about it, you know. So yeah, that's my view. Dan, anything on the BeardMail?
I think it just depends on what the audience want, right? I mean, if people would want to, and you hit a really, really good point there, is the fact that, you know, it's not a group that's dictated by what we want people to do, and that's the whole point of it. You know, a group should be there as a group. You know, it should be for people to spur on the action. They should be the ones that are engaging with each other. You know, don't get me wrong, sometimes it's, you know, it is good to put a spur post in to get people talking, but, you know, a group really should be for people to talk with each other, not just interact with the admin posts. And yeah, I think it's, you know, there's not as many rules in ours. You know, the whole point is post your group. You know, I think what the I don't want to say the downside of a lot of the other groups, because that's not fair, and I don't want to put down any other groups, but a lot of groups obviously have sponsors, and Rune Silk are a sponsor of quite a lot of those groups. So which then a lot of some of the other smaller businesses aren't allowed to post, because that's how I started. Like I went on to Guide into the Beard, and I did the complete no when I first started in beard care, and I was like, I've just made beard care products, check it out, there's the link, blah blah blah, spam. Because you think, okay, what's the quickest way of getting your brand out there? And obviously you can't do that, you know, because if you're not a sponsor, you're not allowed to post unless there's like a brand day that's not sponsor related. And I think it's one of those ones. It's just like, you know, obviously we don't want loads of brands coming in there and just spamming our page, because then we will just have to start moderating a bit more, and I don't want that. Like the odd post is fine, but it really is more about like the user of your beard care products. BeardMail, like, you know, if you're a beard care company and you're posting that you're sending out 15,000 parcels, like, you know, go and swing your balls somewhere else. It's like, you know, it's not for you. Yes, it promotes you, but let your audience promote you. You know, I don't really want ambassadors coming in there going, you know, I've got this product, here's a discount code. It's more about, I've got this awesome stuff that's come in the post. It smells freaking amazing, and I want to share it with you. So here it is. There's the page. There's the group. You know, share your BeardMail, and then just, because there's so much out there, right? Like I try other people's products, because a lot of people ask me, you know, why have you got a BeardMail group that allows other people to promote products when you've got your own company? And I'm like, because like I use other people's products. Like there's other brands out there. Like there's so many people out there that want to try new stuff. Like, yeah, if they want to buy Rune Silk stuff, go ahead. But if they want to buy Mariner Jack stuff or Opie's or Urban Gent, like crack on, because they're all really good products. Like I'm not going to sit there going, oh, they're all shit, buy Rune Silk. You know, they're all good products. So go try them out.
The list has got so long now, right? I was in a group earlier, and somebody mentioned that they wanted some recommendations. They were using Bulldog and they were using Beard Struggle, and I put on there, there's lots of decent UK independent brands worth checking out, and I just started writing them down, and I couldn't stop. I was writing and writing, because, you know, like 5 years ago I would have put 2 or 3 down, and now I literally wrote a list of like 16, and then I thought, I've got to stop. And I went back and I counted them all up, and there was 16 there, and I still had another 10 that I could have written about, and I just wrote so. Beard Struggle and Bulldog probably wouldn't even be in my top 20, and I thought I've got to stop now and then send. So you're right, Dan. There are so many decent brands out there that is where BeardMail is a little bit different, because we are shouting purely about the concept of having those products sent to your house, and opening them up and enjoying the concept that is BeardMail. So What was the question?
Yeah,
Beard-
so you can get why
BeardMail's the answer.
yeah
BeardMail.
BeardMail. Well, you can get why I like the group being a sort of like addict, and I love to try all the different products. And I have to say that here in Ireland, also the beard care products scene is quite wide. I didn't realize how many different companies producing beard products are in Ireland, and then you start discovering them, and I think it's great to just like try different products. I still didn't try the Rune Silk product. That's already on my list. I know. I'll go back
It's
and
so
wait
hard to
myself.
get stuff to Ireland at the moment. This
I
is the
know.
problem. Until they sort the customs out, it seems to be. I was actually talking to our Royal Mail account manager, and he said it's just Ireland at the moment. They're so strict in the CN23 electronic customs, which you don't get if you take it to the post office. You get the CN22 form. If you've got too many digits on your HS code, they'll just send it back, and sometimes they'll let it through. It's just like at the moment they don't even think they really get it. They're just like, oh well, we'll let it through today, but tomorrow is the day where everything gets sent back.
I think it's a good excuse for me to just travel back to UK, have a
Yeah,
little
fill your
trip,
bag.
and
Fill your bag.
come back with some souvenirs.
Bring me some
So,
whiplash though. If you do, bring me some whiplash, and I'll swap it for some
okay,
beard
that's a
care
great
products.
exchange. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, we can do that. So, if you have to describe BeardMail with one word, how would you describe it?
Damo
BeardMail.
answered that question. Yeah.
BeardMail.
BeardMail. I mean, there isn't really another word, is there?
BeardMail in one word.
BeardMail. Hashtag BeardMail. Hashtag BeardMail. BeardMail.
BeardMail in one word. Is BeardMail one word though? Really?
It kind of is. If you look at the sticker, yes,
Yeah.
we've created one word,
There's
and it's
no
BeardMail.
space. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is on the one at the bottom right
On
hand
this one
one,
here,
but that
yeah.
was because I was trying to see if there was a way that we could just not get sued by Royal Mail, and create a logo that was the borderline
Yeah.
touch and go.
If I
and
had
that was
to pick
that was the first logo.
If I had to pick one other word that's not BeardMail, I would maybe consider unboxing, because I think that's a significant part of the concept of BeardMail for me.
Yeah.
And we've posted a little bit about this in the group, but why I think BeardMail is better than most of the products that you'll buy from anywhere is that there is that handwritten note, or there's a suite, or there's something special about unboxing it. And I think a lot of the UK independent guys in particular want to make their customers feel special. And so for me, BeardMail goes hand in hand with the word unboxing, because that is part of the experience. Before you even smelt it or put it in your beard, it's opening up the box and seeing, you know what's in it because you ordered it, but it's opening up the box and seeing what else might be in it. So yeah, unboxing for me.
I think it'd be nice if people did more video unboxing. Obviously, not everyone's comfortable on video, but if people did more video unboxing, that would be pretty cool. But the only people that ever post my BeardMail is the one where like I was like before the school run, and I'm writing the note and the handwriting's all messy, and I'm like, the only ones that ever make it online is when my handwriting looks really, really, really messy. So maybe I just need to start putting less effort into my notes, and they'll get posted more often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and if you have to describe your co-conductor with one word, what would you use?
What's the co-conductor? Is that Dan?
That's you. How do we just refer to each other?
Dan with one
did
word.
I just made up a word, an English word?
One word for Dan.
I don't know. It's a good question, actually.
Are you waiting for me?
Fancy dress.
That's two
dress. A dress costume. Because whenever I've interacted with Damo, before Damo and I really started speaking, I only really knew Damo from my beard club, and I remember him in his Forrest Gump get up going to Antwerp, and the beard on, he dressed up as the Squid Game with the Squid Game's outfit, and dressed up as a Viking. So I
fair point.
Yeah, so I would say the
fancy dress,
the entertainer,
Dan.
You just can't say sexy. That's all it is. He's just fighting.
what it
He's just
Yeah.
he's fighting with the fighting to say.
Do you know what,
you
Dan? Dan is such an interesting character, and he's actually we haven't seen any of this yet, or you guys haven't seen any of this yet. But I really love his characters. So he does a number of hilarious accents and characters and jovial performing. So I would say my one word for Dan would be hilarious acting of characters with accents.
There's actually a word for that, isn't it? Impressionist.
Impressionist.
Jester.
There you go. Impressionist.
Yeah.
We had some hints during some episodes, and yeah, I think
George Adababudinge came out a little bit, didn't he, on one episode?
Yeah.
George came out. The guy from
There's many
Uganda.
more.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually don't know why. I'm not great at accents, and to be honest, if someone says, "Oh, do a Geordie accent," I'll sound Scottish. Like, it's one of those that I can't do it to command, but when I do pull them out, they do get nailed. And my problem is that I might start Welsh and then finish Irish. Like, I'll start a sentence and then it might be even Indian or something. You know, it's like I don't know how it happens, but it's just I literally can flow from 5 different accents in one sentence. And I'm like, and all someone said was, "Can you do a Liverpudlian accent?"
I think a lot of them start off South Africa. I think your South African roots, Dan, is what gets things started, and then it just finishes up wherever it finishes up.
Pretty much, yeah. My wife's South African, so I tend to hear it all the time. So it's one of those but South Africans, you know, you've got the English South Africans and you've got the Dutch South Africans, and they're both very different as well. So I'm trying to nail both at the minute. Oh, that sounded bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was tough, but you nailed it. You nailed it. You grabbed some.
What would you say? What would you say, Paolo? One word
to describe you.
Yeah.
So you as a couple of or you singularly?
Both. Yeah.
Okay.
Putting him on the spot, making him work hard for this interview, aren't you?
So I don't know. Yeah, if I have to use a word, probably professional. Yeah, because that's the idea that I was telling you earlier on. That's what what I feel when I listen to your podcast. First of all, I'm very jealous of your voice because I have a horrible voice. I hate my voice. My voice is absolutely not good for a podcast or a radio program. While when I'm listening to you, both your voices are very deep, very sort of like radio style, and I'm jealous. A good jealousy, of course. But yeah,
I think everyone hates their own voice, though, don't they? I think to a certain extent, you can have the best voice in the world, and you go, "Oh, I hate listening to my voice back."
Yeah,
Dan, you said that in such a cool tone when you said that. Then did you do that? Exactly. On purpose? Did you do that on purpose? Oh, I hate listening to my voice back. That sounded beautiful,
and it's making me hating even more my voice.
It's interesting you say that, Paolo, because I don't like my voice, but I didn't notice I didn't like my voice until I'd listened to Dan's voice more. So on the start of our podcast, it actually says you're here with none other than Damo for show. It's Dan's voice, and that's made me think that my voice is rubbish. Now, with regards to your own voice, Paolo, it's not even your native tongue, is it? So I think ultimately, whatever voice you've got, you have to embrace it and love it. But I'd be really interested to hear you talk in your native tongue, and just reel off a sentence or a paragraph in Italian, and I'll tell you if it's any different.
So do you want me to say something now?
Yeah.
Beh, sono molto contento di stare qui in questo episodio e vi ringrazio tantissimo.
Yeah, see, that's
so
beautiful.
Much better, right?
That's beautiful. Just speak your native tongue. Do a podcast in Italian. Boom.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, you do it. I can't do it.
I was going to say I don't. There's only very, very, very little Italian I know, and one of them is "Come ti chiami," and that's probably about it. You know.
That's very good. Yes.
So, that's what you need to know, right?
Yeah, many people are just telling me, the only thing that I know how to say in Italian is sort of like to order a beer, to say hi, to say goodbye, and I was just like, so you're sorted. that's your Italian.
Well, what
That's
else do you need?
you don't need
Mm.
much more. Yeah. And so, yeah, as you were saying at the beginning, my name is part of my name is related to sport, handball, and now moving away from the BeardMail group. Do you have any favorite sport? Do you play sport? Do you follow sport? Oh my
I
God!
am the least athletic person I know.
I saw you jogging all of January, Dan. You liar.
I did a
Yeah,
bit of
exactly.
running.
We saw
I did a
that.
bit of running. To be honest, again, I don't mind sport to watch. There's certain sport that I'm like, how can we can't watch that? That's just, like swimming. Like, come on now. They only see like their arms and that. I play fantasy football. So I follow more rather than watching the games, I follow the statistics of the game more than the game itself.
Do you have a favorite team?
So, well,
Football
Liverpool was my team since I was, a young lad. Like I always supported Liverpool, but I've watched Man City play more times than I've never seen Liverpool play, but I've watched Man City play several times. So I don't really. I'm not one of those. I'm not loyal to Liverpool because, if I've got a fantasy football team, I'm not going to fill it with Liverpool players just because I like Liverpool. If I've captained, Ronaldo and they're playing against Liverpool, then I kind of want Ronaldo to smash a load of goals in, and I don't really care if Liverpool lose. So it's yeah. No, Damo's probably you're quite handy at football. I've seen you kicking the ball.
Well,
Goal and
I did play football for a long time, Paolo, and then I injured my knee, and then I didn't play for a good, 8 years or so. And then I tried to get back into it last year, and I'm just not fit enough, and I just got injured too regularly. Prior to that, I'd never got injured. I would go and play all the time. I played Sunday League, which is really rough, pub football, loads of tackles flying in and all that, and never got any injuries. And I'd always been a strong player. I'm a centre back. So I love getting up for a header. I love having a slide tackle. And I did that for many years. And then I literally twisted my knee in a training game, tore my meniscus. And then that was me done. So I didn't play football again because I was scared of doing it again. It was quite a bad injury for me. But then I tried to get back into it last year, and I just realised that I'm not fit enough to do it. So I pulled my hamstring, I pulled my groin, and then I came back again too early. And so I haven't played now for about 5 or 6 months. And I really want to play because I have that competitive edge and that drive, and I want to win. And I love being on the field, being a leader and shouting at people and motivating people and supporting people. And obviously now a lot of the guys on the team, they're in their 20s. And so, I remember when I was in my 20s and I would play alongside some of the old boys that, got a bit more experience and more confidence. And I want to be that person, but my body has let me down at the minute because I'm not fit enough to play. So, I don't play football, but I would like to have a go at doing one more season this year. And then other than that, I try and do a bit of fitness, but never regularly enough. I've done all sorts of mixed martial arts. I've done a charity cage fight. I've done some ground fighting and boxing, and I'll give it a go at any sort of sports. Hand-eye coordination's all right. Mind you, I hate tennis for some reason, but I'm all right at squash. I'm all right at table tennis, but tennis, no, just not for me. So, and then
squash is quite fun actually. That's one thing I did. I used to play squash. It's quite fun.
It's not just not trendy anymore. You can't find a place with a squash court anymore. But yeah,
I associate squash with the gym, because that's where we play squash at the gym. I used to play with my missus quite a bit, but I don't associate squash as a sport. I just see it in the gym, and I'm like, well, that's a workout, isn't it? So it's gains.
And then with regards to like Premier League football, I was a Man United fan growing up. Here's an exclusive. I didn't really know what I was doing. And when I was really young, I supported Liverpool for a tiny little bit. I'm talking like 5 years old or something, 6 years old, I think. Because a cousin or someone in the family supported Liverpool, and I looked up to them a bit. And they said, "Oh yeah, you want to support Liverpool?" I'm like, "All right, I'll support Liverpool." And then I actually went on family holiday to Cyprus, and we got in this taxi. And to me, I thought it was a limo. And it probably weren't. It's probably just a big car that I wasn't used to. But the taxi driver said to me, "Who do you support?" And I said, "Sort of probably Liverpool." And he said to me, "Nah, you want to support Man United?" And I was like, "Oh, okay then." So ever since then, as a 6-year-old, I supported Man United. But then obviously in that era then, as a kid growing up, Man United were really good. They were winning everything, and it was a pleasure to support them. And I've been up to Old Trafford a few times and really enjoyed some magical moments being a Man United fan over the years. And then when Fergie left and things went downhill, and then I started not being able to watch it because of Sky and not having the right channels and TV and that. And then I started getting a bit into fantasy football, and that thing makes you support other teams a little bit subconsciously, doesn't it? And then Man United started losing terribly. And then one day I popped the telly on, and Man United came out, and I didn't actually know any of the players. And in the commentary box, all the pundits was Teddy Sheringham and Paul Scholes, and it was all people from my era of players were all pundits. And I'm like, oh shit, I've got too old. I've missed, So my generation has always been your Keane, Neville, and all them guys that are doing punditry now, like Cantona, Hughes, and all that. That was all me. And then ever since like Louis van Gaal and that, and the players changed and a lot more. But I just lost. I couldn't watch it every week. I just lost interest in it. And I know that makes me a terrible, terrible fan, because you should support them through the good times and the bad. But literally, yeah, I haven't sort of enjoyed a game as a Man United fan watching it for a long time now.
Yeah, time changes. Yeah, so we all went through that. I was a massive football supporter when I was a kid, a massive Juventus supporter. So for me, Del Piero will always be my star, my idol. And right now, I'm slowly losing touch, especially living abroad. Is something that you slowly lose. You lose your interest. And then I was always doing my own sport, so I didn't have time to just watch matches and all this stuff.
Hey, just quickly, well, yeah, I know the time is rocking, but I just want to quickly mention it. Dan, do you remember fantasy football back in the day when it was in the Times newspaper, and you would literally, to make a transfer, you had to phone up, and it cost about 50 quid or something stupid. My old dear used to murder me. But you literally, all the players and all the points, you'd only get them from in the newspaper every week. And I'm a kid buying the Times newspaper, which is a massive broadsheet out here, just for the fantasy football, because I'm doing the fantasy. It was crazy back.
I only have played it when it came on to online.
No, mate, I literally used to be able to play it in the newspaper every week. It was crazy. Transfers on the phone. Crazy.
That might be another topic for
another topic. Yeah.
So just to close, typical question of the interviews with the bearded handballer: what does it mean having a beard for you?
That's a good question. Have you got a run, Paolo? Are you on the time schedule?
No.
Damo's like, I could probably answer. I've got 10.
Well, I have to go to work tomorrow at 8 in the morning.
So mine's quite quick, and I actually have some stickers I put on some of my BeardMail when it goes out, and it just says, "Your beard is who you are."
That's a great answer.
Nice. I think my beard, it's weird actually, because I could say that my beard has opened up I used to say this, my beard has opened up loads of doors for me. But then I sometimes forget, actually, maybe, Damien, it's your personality has also opened some doors. But I absolutely think I've had more possibilities and more options since having had the beard. So certainly with TV, certainly, I mean, even in business, even just standing out, being able to make relationships with new people. And we chatted about this a bit before, Dan, but I genuinely feel that my beard, and certainly becoming part of the beard community, it's been a massive part of my life for the last 8 years. But the first time out of that sales job I started growing my beard was because I wanted to look a bit older, and it gave me confidence. I was a 26-year-old lad working in a category B prison as a prison officer, and having that beard really gave me a little bit of extra confidence, because I wanted to look a bit older and wanted to look a bit harder, because you're dealing with significant events day to day. So the beard for me, massive confidence booster. But then as I've grown within it, I wouldn't see myself without it. I would feel very weird without it. But yeah, I mean, it's important to think that it's literally just hair that grows out your face, but it literally has been a massive part of my life. If I shaved it off today, I have no doubt that I'd probably fall into another community doing something else, similar traits and
ballet or something like that.
Yeah, but it would be similar. but absolutely, the beard has been a significant part of my life for the last 8 years. Absolutely.
That's great. Yeah,
it's definitely a talking point, isn't it? I mean, I went for lunch on Sunday with family that I haven't seen for ages, my stepdad's kids, and they're all clean shaven, working, suits and in corporate jobs and that sort of thing. And one of them said, he's like, "Oh, you're right, Ragnar." I was like, actually, it's more King Harold rather than Ragnar. Ragnar actually didn't have a very good beard. It's actually King Harold that had the really good beard.
And did you do that Welsh accent as well?
Yeah, I did the Welsh accent. Yeah. I thought that was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
That was good.
Yeah, so it's one of those. It really is. It's my brand. It's who I am. It's people know me with the beard. Like, Damo and I have spoken before. Even when we like networking, if we go to a business networking group, who am I? Well, I'm the guy with the massive beard, because no one else in the room has got a massive beard, or a beard. Maybe not even a beard at all. And so most people remember you because you. And I always say to them as well, because I do website stuff and bits and pieces on the side as freelance, and actually I always say to them, well, if you need a website doing, just remember the guy with the massive beard, and lo and behold, who gets the phone call? The guy with the massive beard, right?
Yeah. No, that's great.
Don't talk too much about that, because this is actually going to be on the podcast that comes out tomorrow morning. We have that conversation, don't we, Dan?
Yeah, but that's fine, because this is now episode 7, right?
Yeah, but Paolo's going to be listening tomorrow morning. Like, we're chatting about that.
I know that. Fast forward.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Podcast goes out at 7:30 tomorrow. I think it's scheduled.
Yeah, they were great answers. So yeah, I'm done. So I don't have any other question. I think that I got probably I stole too much of your time already, and it's been great. I really liked it. And I felt like if I was in a podcast. So it's been great from my point of view. So thanks again for accepting this.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for approaching us with the idea. It's grand.
Yeah, it's been great.
So you might technically be the first guest on our podcast, and in years to come, we might be like, we might be Joe Rogan status, and we might have hundreds of podcasts under our belt. But George, remember the first one we did? Oh, with Paolo. Yeah, the Bearded Handballer. Who knows where it could go, Paolo? Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
So thank you, mate. We're gonna we'll do our outro bit and all that. So thanks for watching, everybody. And if you are watching, or thanks for listening, if you are listening, it's been lovely to have Paolo on the show, the Bearded Handballer, and we look forward to seeing it all typed up in his blog. So give it a little wave goodbye, Paolo. Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I cut him off for saying that. He said thank you. Anyway, we'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.
See you in a bit. Bye for now.